The boardwalk reeked of burnt sugar and decaying wood that night. I remember because the smell stuck to my clothes for days afterward, even after I'd washed them countless times. We jumped the fence at 3:17 a.m. Me, Tyler, and stupid Mike, and his phone flashlight slicing through the heavy ocean mist. Trimper's carousel towered before us like a slumbering monster. The painted horses appeared otherworldly at night. Their frozen smiles were wider, their glass eyes more shiny. The Black Stallion farthest away stood out its head at an angle as if waiting for us. "Bet you don't ride the death horse," Mike pushed me forward, his breath smelling of stale beer. I should have just walked away. Senior year was wrapping up and we were pursuing that final thrill of stupidity before growing up. So I jumped onto the platform, and that's when things went awry. The wood under my sneakers was wet. Not wet-soaked. Salt water collected in the crevices between boards even though the ocean was blocks from there. My foot skidded as I stepped toward the stallion and I grabbed onto its saddle. Big mistake. The leather squished under my fingers like a waterlogged corpse. Something dark and stringy was caught in the reins. At first I thought it was seaweed until I noticed the pink ribbon side by side end tied up on one end. The carousel shuddered. Not the wind. Not a mechanical malfunction. A shudder of the whole body like a dog shaking off sleep. The calliope wheezed out a dying breath of music, just 3 notes drawn taut and distorted. "Cut the shit, Tyler," I shouted, but my voice was too high. No answer. I spun. The boardwalk was deserted. No Mike. No Tyler. Only the fog creeping around the support columns like clutching fingers. That was when I saw the footprints in the sawdust little bayfoot from the stallion to where I stood. The carousel lurched ahead with a shriek of metal. I caught hold of the brass pole as the world went into a whirl of lights and darkness. The music increased, a hellish rendition of Pup Goes the Weasel on screeching pipes. Faster, faster. The painted faces of the horses ran like snarls, their wooden muscles rippling like they had life. Then I saw her. In the broken mirrors of the carousel, a reflection that was not mine, a girl in a sodden white dress standing behind me. Her hair floated as if underwater strands stuck to cheeks puffed out from days at sea. The stallion's head jerked toward me with a crack like breaking ice. Its jaw yawned open, showing a black gullet full of rusted gears and kelp. Salt water spewed from its nostrils, wetting my jeans. Small hands covered my eyes. "Guess who?" A voice chortled in my ear, the words fumbling like somebody talking through mouthfuls of salt water. I shrieked and struggled, but those small fingers were unyielding. The carousel went round and round wildly now, the centrifugal force holding me tight on the saddle as the stallion's teeth scraped across my shoulder. Then stillness. I woke up on hands and knees under the carousel, spewing salt water. My phone read 6:09 a.m. Sunrise colored the platform's underside in bloody light. They discovered Mike's phone 3 days later in the bay, its camera roll full of 47 identical photos, me on the stallion screaming with something in a white dress attached to my back. The final photo was just black water and the faint shape of a little girl's face emerging in the bubbles. The physicians insist it was an adverse reaction. My parents believe it was a seizure. But I'm telling you the truth, I did not leave the carousel that night. Because when I bathe, the water always comes out colder than it should. When I sleep, my bed sheets are wet with ocean spray. And sometimes when I'm home alone, I can hear the far-off wheeze of a calliope and the patter of little bay feet running to my bed. Lydia never lets go of her friends, and she's made up her mind we're going to play forever.